family, this video right here is about how the Super Bowl is nothing more than one big occultic ritual which you ignorantly partake in every year to get your internal energy ciphered. So before I break down how the football game, including the stadium, the number of players, and how that all relates to the occult, and how it was set up by occult members and Freemasons, we're going to give you those Freemasons right now. I mean, the history of those Freemasons first before we give you the history and the science behind the game. Now, the NFL comes from, or is predicated upon, what is known as rugby. It was evolved into and created and founded by two people today that we know as Walter Camp and Amos Stagg. Walter Camp, C-A-M-P Camp, Walter, and Amos, A-M-O-S, last name Stagg, S-T-A-G-G. Now, why is this important? Both of them was Masons and practiced the occult. They were both a part of what you know today as the Skull and Bones Society. Do the research. Now, who else do we know was a part of the Skull and Bones Society? George Bush. Daddy and son. So that being said, we seen what the fuck they did to this country. They knocked them towers down. So we know that they have no good intentions for America whatsoever. And we know that people coming out of the Skull and Bones Freemasonry camp are playing into the hidden agenda of these secret societies in order to take over the world and brainwash the people, and put them on a negative frequency. So with that being said, family, let's get this understood. Football was created by occult practitioners, specifically people associated with the Skull and Bones Society, who I just named earlier. Now, why is this important? Because it's a public game created by the same Roman Greek emperors, imperial bloodline. Back in Rome, not only can we trace the bloodline of these Europeans back to Europe, in places like Rome and Greece, etc., we understand that back in Rome, they had gladiator games and other public games, which the emperors openly admitted that they had these games in order to distract the public from secret government agendas. Period. So they've been doing this shit for years, for thousands of years at that, even to their own people. So we are falling for the same motherfucking tricks as African people underneath a European rule that the Europeans had imposed on their own selves during ruling Europeans at that time frame when they were doing such a thing. Now, why is this important? Before I break down the science of the game, not only is the game founded by members of the secret society, not only is the game not only is the practice of public games and expeditions, not only was this practice during Roman times by Europeans who practiced witchcraft, they admitted it in the game called the Illuminati card game. Now, out of all the cards in the game, one of the cards happened to be right here. Now, if you want to see this card, this is the professional sports card in the Illuminati card game. I'm going to read to you what it says. Now, if you want to see this card, you can go right on Google Images, type in Illuminati football card. Okay, no, Illuminati card game football card. It'll come right up. You can read it. Now, this card game clearly says it gives you +4 on any attempt to control any straight group. Okay? Link this card to any one person's personality you control to give them +3 power as a worldwide sports commentator. Now, as you can see on this card game, clearly they got this player, catching a bag of money. Now, why is this important? The symbolism when you do the research to this card is important because you see it says sports card. And once again, I'm going to show you. Sports card. Sports players and entertainers get paid ridiculous amounts of money because they have to make it look fashionable to do what they're doing and glorify it, because they have to give someone a reason to want to participate in such a distraction. So with that being said, they can't just feed a motherfucker to a lion now because they're a prisoner. So what they do is they convince you that you're special, that you have a talent that's going to change is going to save the motherfucking world. We're going to pay you $30 million to go on that court and dribble that ball. We're going to pay you $30 million to go on that football field and run that ball. And you're poor, you're going to get a jersey, and we're going to put your stats up there, and all of these people are going to value you for some shit that you're doing that don't mean shit to the motherfucking world. They have to convince you. So they throw all this money at these players. They throw all this fame at these players in order to keep them mesmerized by the illusion, so that they can willingly participate in the ritual that they need to continue to perpetuate to distract the masses worldwide. The NFL is a worldwide watch sport. Now, why is this important? When you're dealing with the game, right? First of all, let's go to the players before we even get to the stadium. You got 11 players on each side. 11-11. Now, why is this important? A lot of y'all be like, I see 11-11 all the time. Why is 11-11 a poor number? 11-11 is a number that represents internal expression. People who see 11-11 either has done two things. They either came into some new information and they've been educating themselves, and it's a sign that you need to express your newfound understanding, or 11-11 is a sign that you already have something that you need to teach. I don't know what it is. I don't know you. It could be cooking, information, how to sew. It could be pain stored inside you. 11-11 is just a universal confirmation that you need to express your energy. So now, why is this important? Both sides on the field, 11 players on the offense, 11 players on defense, then you rotate. Both are expressing internal frequencies, whether it be they want to win the game, they don't like each other, grudge match team, as well as not only do you have this number of players, you have thousands of people in the stadium fueling this internal frequency and projecting it internally using their free will and their thought upon the game. So now let's break down the field in the stadium before we come back to the significant numbers of the players. As a matter of fact, before I end, it's also 4 divisions in the game. And the 4 divisions is symbolic to earth, wind, water, and fire, which is the elements that make up human DNA, as well as the 4 seasons, as well as the NFL game goes through all 4 seasons. So you have 11 players on the field, on each side of the field, 11-11, expressing their internal frequency, along with the projected emotions and intentions and gossip of the fans worldwide, not just in the stadium, people on Twitter, people at home watching the game, all around the world. You're watching your favorite team through all 4 seasons. Okay? They got you projecting your goddamn frequency into this game. The game is being played on certain days at certain times, underneath certain planetary alignments, where these motherfuckers are doing rituals and ciphering your energy, or they're keeping you distracted from other shit that they're doing that you will never have a clue of because you were too busy watching the goddamn game. So with that being said, when we come back to the field, right? The field is square, but the stadium is always oval. A square, if you go watch my video, Color, Shapes, and Energies, I break down the science of geometric shapes. It's called geomancy. Geomancy is the study of energy that is conducted by certain angles, aka certain geometric shapes. For example, pyramids harvest a certain energy, squares harvest a certain energy, circles harvest a certain energy. For those details, go watch that video. Now, with that being said, you on a square. The square is a container. I said it in my last video, I'm going to say it again. You give people a present in a square, a box. It's a container. When you buy shoes, they come in a box. When you buy your new cell phone, it comes in a box. When they put you in a jail cell, you're in a box. Anything that's meant to contain energy is always in a square, okay? But then the stadium is oval. The oval is circular because anything that's circle is meant to circumnavigate, okay? So with that being said, anything that conducts energy and ciphers energy, or is meant to cipher energy, is circular. For example, your veins, your energy ciphers, your blood ciphers through your veins. Your veins are circular. Baby energy ciphers in and out of the womb of a woman's vagina. Her vaginal tube is circular. Okay, the pipes in your house, circular. Anything that's circular conducts and circumnavigates energy. So you have a square field which is meant to contain. Okay, and then you have an oval stadium which is meant to cipher. So you have a giant geometric stadium, a geomantic stadium, which is meant to contain and cipher energy, right? And then you got your player set up, 11-11. You got all of these silly motherfuckers in the crowd projecting their anger. And then you have certain yards and certain lengths on the football field. And then you have what is called the red zone. Now, the red zone is exactly what it is. Let's say you got the Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons. If the Atlanta Falcons is in the Patriot red zones, the Patriot fans is now in distress. The Atlanta Falcon fans are now they're happy, they're anxious. So all of the goddamn Patriot fans are now literally in their reds, on their lower self, your red chakra, which is red. So you got all of this negative energy being festered up for however long these goddamn Atlanta Falcons got these damn Patriots in their red zone on the goal line, and then vice versa. And the game is symbolic to the fight between your higher and your lower self, aka Haru and Set. Okay, sunrise, sunset. So you're taking place in one big ritual. You're happy, you're sad. You're happy, you're sad. If your team is on this half of the field, okay, you and your higher self, they and their lower self. If their team is on this half of the field, they and their higher self, you and your lower self. And you're on an emotional roller coaster. And this is being fueled by alcohol, which alcohol has already been proven by the use of an electromagnetic scanning device that has been proven that you literally get possessed by entities when you drink motherfucking alcohol. So you got 100,000 motherfuckers in the crowd, 50,000 over here for the Patriots, 50,000 over here for the Falcons. All of them motherfuckers is drunk. So out of that 100,000, let's be safe and say 70,000 motherfuckers is now being possessed by some form of negative deity, whether you want to believe it or not. It's already been scientifically proven. Then you get them on an emotional roller coaster. They happy, they sad, they worried, they anxious. You taking them through all of the levels of the Kabbalah, all of the levels of their own tree of life, okay? And then the game is already rigged any motherfucking way by the owner, because the owners of the NFL is the same motherfuckers who own the music industry, who own the NBA, the secret society, motherfucking occult practitioners. So they already didn't say who was going to win anyway. So they done ritual this game, they done played this game out step by step all the way. They done put all of these goddamn fans and all of these goddamn people through all of these goddamn emotional traumas and distress, and then they did it on a Sunday. Now why is Sunday important? Sunday in paganism, okay, and in occult worship, it's supposed to be the day of God. But you know that Lucifer calls himself the morning star. But if you know anything about Jesus, Jesus also calls himself the morning star. This is why you have a Christian Bible and a satanic Bible. But if you actually read the Bibles, they damn near say the same motherfucking shit. Lucifer and Satan is the same motherfucker.